Hey, what's up, y'all? It's your boy Nick, and we are back with another video. On today's video, guys, got my boy Alex, and we're about to do about a mid to a low bald fade. But really, the point of this video, guys, is I want to show you how simple it is to achieve a fade. I know a lot of people, they make it harder than it has to be. If you just develop you a system and just stick to that system, you can do every haircut out there. So that's what I'm going to be explaining to you guys today. So if you guys are ready to get into it, let's get it. So before every cut, you want to make sure you brush the hair down in the direction of the growth pattern. And also you want to be checking for any imperfections like any cowlicks, any moles or anything like that. You don't want to run over any of that with those clippers. So like I said, this is going to be about a mid to a low bald fade. So I went ahead and started my first guideline and went ahead with my BGRVs with the 1A detachable blade and started to knock down the hair on top. And then I also like to backdoor this with my magic clips with the #1 guard lever closed to make sure the hair is all cut down evenly. So after I'm finished with that, I'm gonna go ahead and set my guidelines. Now I like to work my way up and then fade all of those lines out by coming back down. So with my black FXs, with the lever all the way open and set my second guideline. And then with my #1 guard, lever all the way open, I'm gonna go ahead and set my third guideline. Remember, the neater that your guidelines are, the neater that your fade comes out. So I know that I used a 1A or a 1 with the lever closed on my magic clips on top. So this 1.5 on my black FXs is going to be the last guard that I'm going to be using. Now I'm not going to set a guideline. I'm just going to be flicking out at the top, trying to take out some of this bulk. So now that I set on my guidelines, it's time to work my way back down. So with my #1, I'm going to go ahead and start to flick at that bottom of that third guideline. And then come back with my half guard with the lever all the way open and continue to buff out any of the remainder of that line. Now I normally work from open to halfway to close. It depends on the hair texture and how long it takes me to get out that guideline. So don't be afraid to use that lever. Just get in there and attack it and make sure it comes out. So now with my clipper, lever all the way open with no guard, I'm gonna go ahead and just try to knock out the remainder of this last guideline. Now I'm gonna work from open, halfway to close until this line comes out. So normally I like to bald out my clients in the beginning of the cut, but today I decided to keep the hair at the bottom. There's no particular reason. I just really wanted to get into the fade and start the tutorial for you guys. So yeah. So now I've run through my system and I like to go back and detail. A lot of people like to detail while they're cutting, and for me, I found that just takes too much time. I like to run through my system and then come back and detail. Sometimes when you detail in the middle of the cut, it could take you a little bit longer, and sometimes I lose track of time, so I like to run through the fade and make sure the haircut is done, and then with the remainder of the time of the appointment, I like to go ahead and then detail. Now for the right side of the head, I'm gonna be doing the same exact steps. Now that's the name of the game, guys. You wanna develop you a system and stick to that system. No matter what haircut comes in, you wanna be able to complete those same exact steps. Now you may have to tweak a little things here and there, but as long as you have your system, your cuts will come out consistent and your time will get better. I have my 1.5 guard on my clipper. Now remember, I did a 1A on top or a 1 with the lever closed. Once you get used to cutting hair and once you've been doing it for a while, you start to know which guards blend into which guards, if that makes sense. Now with that 1, I'm gonna continue to work my way down. Now I know I said I like to detail at the end of the cut, but if you guys see something, don't be afraid to go back and touch it up, but don't spend too much time on it. So boom, that's the fade. So we started with our bald line, then we went with our half line, we went with our 1 with the lever all the way open, and then when we went with our 1.5 guard and then worked our way back down. Now guys, you want to make sure you simplify these steps. There's a billion and one ways to do a fade, but you just want to figure out the easiest way to get it done and just do it over and over and over and over again. Trust me guys, it'll get easier over time. And also too, guys, you want to make sure you do these steps all around the head. I just did section by section for the tutorial purposes, but normally when I'm cutting, I like to set the guidelines all the way around the head and then come back and take them all out. This saves me time from having to go back and grab guards, and it just makes the cut more consistent, I feel. Now, as far as the edge up, I like to start in the middle, then work my way out, starting with the highest recession point and then just connecting the two sides. Now you want to make sure you keep this as natural as possible. And also guys, I'm going to be making a tutorial on how to do an edge up. I had someone in the comments section ask me to do a tutorial on it, so be on the lookout for that, guys. So now that we finished that one side, we're gonna work our way back over to the other side. Now, one little pro tip, guys, I like to face my clients in the mirror and look directly at their hairline in the mirror. The mirror never lies, so if it's straight in the mirror, it's gonna be straight when someone looks at them. So during the consultation, he told me that he wanted a half moon part. So I'm gonna go ahead with my silver FXs and go ahead and start the part. Now I like to use these edgers because the blade on these things, man, it is super thin. So I like to go ahead and start my baseline of the design and then come back and flip my clippers over and detail it a little bit more. Now, just to make this part a little bit more crispy, I'm going to be using my razor. Now, you want to make sure you hold that razor at a 45-degree angle, and you want to be stretching out the skin, and you want to use smooth, consistent strokes to ensure that you don't cut your client. Ooh, that cut is coming out crispy. It is something about that razor that just makes this haircut pop. So I'm just coming to clean up any hair that I may have missed with my first pass of my edgers. And as you guys can see, this cut is crispy. Now guys, like I said in the beginning of the video, you guys want to make sure you get a system and simplify it and stick to that system. And as long as you stick to that system, this is the result. All right guys, so here's the before. And here's the after. Hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial. If you're new to my channel, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Also, turn on those post notifications so you're alerted every time I drop a video. And I'm gonna catch you guys later. Peace.